AXE2Cap, let me put you on game. AXE2Cap, look at all that you could gain. Business moves, loans, and grants, it's all a part of the game. You could learn all of this that the Queen Sheba explained. AXE2Cap. Thank you all for joining me tonight for an honest conversation about the Black man's mental health, the Centered CEO, and how entrepreneurs navigate the space of balancing entrepreneurship and mental health. So I wanted to make sure that we had a fluid and candid conversation about this, right? Because half the time, men don't really talk about mental health in navigating spaces of difficulty and managing the weight of the world on their shoulders. All right, you just kind of barrel through. So what I want to do is just really dig in and lean in and talk about this, not just for ourselves, but for the listening audience. So what I'll do is I'll ask you all to introduce yourselves, talk a little bit about the work that you do in your businesses as a CEO. So I'll ask Lavelle if you can introduce yourself first.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sansaray. My name is Lavelle Summerville. I am the CEO slash co-owner of Quick Draw Phlebotomy School. And that's our logo behind us. So what Quick Draw is, we're an allied health training school. We're actually started in phlebotomy. Now we've kind of incorporated multiple other disciplines like medical assisting, patient care tech, and EKG. And we're looking to launch a school in Georgia. So we're currently expanding to another state. Yeah, so we're excited. We're excited. Like anything, there's challenges, but we're just overcoming, we're trying to overcome all the challenges through prayer and faith that everything will work out. But yeah, we are excited for it, for sure.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love it. Congratulations.
Appreciate it.
Gavin, sir.
Hello.
Hi.
Good evening. Good afternoon, everyone. I think it's early evening, right? My name is Gavin Andrade. I am the CEO of Trims and More LLC. I've been in business now on the books 5 years. Been in entrepreneurship before that. A little bit about myself, not originally from Connecticut, Miami, Connecticut, and I've been here now for about 20 years. Like I said, I've been in business I've been in business June, Trims and More LLC. It's 5 years. It's challenging, as everyone else knows. That's an entrepreneur, but it's rewarding just the same. So staying focused, sticking with it, and like Lavelle said, putting God first, man, and praying about all the challenges to overcome everything. That's what it is, and we're still thriving, still kicking, and looking forward to another 5 years.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you so much, Jhevaun.
Very nice. I'm Jhevaun Gordon. I am the owner and founder of a gourmet cold press and blended juice company called Nature's Ombre. Concept of it started in college, and we went public with it in 2019. We started wholesaling to restaurants, and then after restaurants, we started wholesaling to supermarkets. Laban's is the name of the supermarket. They're in IGA. They have 4 locations, and we're in 2 of their locations. And we're looking to expand. We're looking to grow and establish our first official headquarters. We haven't revealed where we will be doing that as yet. The business is a strong reflection of God. It's just basically like the perfect manifestation of how God expresses his self through me and through those juices. Yeah.
And they are so good. Thank you for that. I appreciate that.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. All right, let's get into the conversation and talk about Black men and mental health and navigating the space and the balance between entrepreneurship and mental health. So as we begin to have this conversation as candidly as possible, I hear a lot of discussion. I heard a lot from you all in the last 2 minutes around faith and really leaning in on your faith and your trust in God to kind of help you scale and grow. Talk to me about how critical and how pivotal that has been
with you transitioning from one level to the next and balancing your mental health while you do that, Lavelle?
That's a really good question. So yeah, no, it's pivotal. It's number one. The main scripture is that seek first the kingdom and all things will come unto you. So just definitely in like choosing God is the number one, Lord. And just going through that process, I know that through faith, all things is possible. So that's the only thing that kind of really keeps me going.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
for sure.
talk to us about, because we gonna dig in, y'all. I'm just gonna tell you. Talk to us about those moments and those times where it feels like God's not showing up, right? So in that
Absolutely.
moment of stress and pressure, when it feels like your back is up against the wall, talk to those individuals about where they are right now and how to navigate that space.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So what I could say is what I do in that situation. And pretty much what I do is I just dwell in the word and just be patient, be still, and be quiet. And through that silence,
Mm,
I either get a new revelation where I get new ideas. Maybe it's
mhm,
something that had to get pivoted, or
mhm.
maybe there's a phone conversation that I need to have with someone. But that's where I get my revelation on whether do I sit still or do I move?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
for
I
sure.
love that. Gavin, thoughts?
Oh, how do I stay sane? Um, I think men and women, this is for men, but business is like a baby. It's like raising a child for anyone that has kids. It requires 24/7 nurturing. And often you don't get a break for yourself. You sleep,
Mm, mhm,
you're
mhm.
thinking about your business. I mean, I don't know
Yeah,
if this has happened to anybody else, but I'm
yeah,
literally doing math and planning out tomorrow sometimes
absolutely.
while I'm actually sleeping. So, to stay sane, Lavelle, you hit it on the nail, man. You just got to have that connection with God. I've never personally done therapy. I heard therapy is good. I may look into it in the future. But, staying rooted, staying connected to God, because a lot of times when you don't feel like God is answering you, or you don't feel like God is even listening to you, what do? Turn your back on God, the ultimate supreme being that brought you this far. You just got to stay still sometimes, pray. Faith is like the biggest key. If you're in business, you have to have faith. I don't know how else you'd be able to succeed without faith,
Mhm.
because going back to the example of saying like a business is a child, you literally have to pour in all that you have and have faith that you're doing the right thing, so that this business, like a child, will turn out the way that you want it to, turn out successful.
Yeah. I'm gonna give you a quick little news flash. You did go through therapy when you were in the program, remember?
Yes.
Had yeah.
Yeah, I do.
Dr. Phillips, Dr. Phillips,
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes,
Yeah,
so
now that you
you
say
did
that, yep.
go. And when we had our breakout sessions, you attended a few of the sessions, those 2 days that I can recall you being there. And you contributed so much to the people who were on the call. I just appreciate that. I appreciate your willingness to just kind of expand your horizons, to open yourself up to growing, right? And learning and adapting, and doing something different in order to get you to the next level to scale and grow. So I just wanted to remind you of that you actually did do it and you did it first in our accelerator with Sheba. So I appreciate that.
Right. Thank you.
Yeah.
Mm.
Jhevaun, talk to
Yes,
us about
yes.
balance and mental health and entrepreneurship.
Balance and mental health. I feel like oftentimes, as far as balance and mental health, we have to do it on our own. But I don't think a lot of this should be done alone, and I think that's the part that most people don't really understand. Like this shouldn't be done alone. And we're not
Hmm.
surrounded by enough people that believe in us. And that kind of takes a mental and an emotional strain. Yes, God is real. Yes, God is here for us. Yes, fasting does help. Prayer does work. It does help. All those things work. But God put people around us for a reason. I can attest to that because I live in that. I live in that. I run my juice company by myself. Yes, I do have a small team. It's just myself and my brother. Um, but at the end of the day, it's like when I get up in the morning, who is there to is my village or my tribe there to be like, yo, Jhevaun, I love you, man. Like I believe in you. Let's go get this done. You know what I'm saying? You tired? Take a break. I got it.
Yeah.
Ain't none of us surrounded by that. The toughest thing to do right now as a man and as a CEO and as a business owner um, is doing what's needed while depriving myself of things that feel good and things that I like just to get
Mm-hmm.
to where I need to be. It's like the most painful thing. It's very painful. It doesn't feel good at all. It's like these secret sacrifices nobody's seeing. It's very painful. You
Mm-hmm.
know, just listen to yourself and you talking to God. God, I'm gonna do this. This don't feel good, but guide me along the way.
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
that.
It's the trials and the triumphs, right? We
Absolutely.
stick our chest out when we're triumphing, but those trials have us skipping a beat sometimes. And so it's extremely important to make sure that your tribe is solid and that they know when to show up and how to show up for you.
Right.
So, my thinking is Gavin, said it best. This is not just for men, but it's for women too, right? So how do you balance out supporting your family while you may be mentally challenged and trying to scale your business at the same time?
It's an extreme act because here you are trying to nurture your business, and you also have a family that you need to nurture and grow as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
So which one takes priority, right? Well, if I don't work, then we don't eat. As a provider, you take pride in providing for your family. But
Mm-hmm.
um, I think black men in particular, we had a bad stigma against us that, we don't raise our kids and we're not in our home like that. And I want to say that's not true. It's not easy on us, but it's just a part of life. Um, no one said it would be easy. No one said it, it would be phenomenal or you would even be praised by it. It's just things that you have to do moving forward. So you really do need a faith base, in my opinion. Um, Jhevaun, I hear what you're saying, brother. Like, God put people around you for a reason, and not everybody's as mentally sound as they should be or emotionally sound as they should be. And yeah, unfortunately, I heard Sansaray say this before, and on her podcast, she was talking to the I like that dude too, man. The guy, I think he heads Headco,
Avery
and
Gaddis. Yeah.
no one's gonna come save you. It's just not gonna happen. So,
Right.
groups like this, seeking like-minded people, dropping dead weight, all those things help you to navigate family and business life better. God takes priority over anything that I do, my family, my business, or anything like that.
Yeah.
But then comes my family, to be honest with you, because I can't put the business before my family. But going back to you gotta work to eat. I mean, the Bible tells you that if you don't work, you don't eat.
Mhm.
It's just a balancing act. Putting the covenant of God, putting us under the covenant of God. No one is perfect. Give yourself a messing up. Learn from your mistakes. Move forward,
Mhm.
and just checks and balances of what is more important, and prioritize that. That's what I got for
Grace.
you.
I love that. Grace is sufficient. That's what I'm taking away out of everything that you said. Give yourself grace and permission to trip forward. Trip,
Mm.
trip, trip, trip. As long as you're moving and you tripping forward, we're going to stumble. We're going to trip. We may even fall, but
Mm,
we're not supposed to live there. That's just a visit. That's just a stop. We're supposed to keep going.
absolutely.
Supposed to keep going. The balance in that, Lavelle, because I know you got your wife, your beautiful wife, and your family, and your business. How's that balancing act for you? Especially now that you're expanding to Georgia. We got a whole different
A whole another
legislation
element to
we're dealing with.
it. No, for sure. Garvin, he hit a ton of points, really good points. one that I touch base on is the stigma that he talked about
Mm-hmm.
that's on black, black fathers. Like,
Yeah.
I've got a ton of black, fathers and friends. Most of my friends, phenomenal fathers, providers, love their kids. Same here. So that was a really good point. But as far as the balancing act, yeah, it's tough. It really is. It's tough, and that's why I say seek first the kingdom. Go right to. I go right to my Father to get all the answers that I need. So what Jhevaun said, what he hit it on there. So what he said, and I put it to scripture, is that the work is plenty, but the laborers are few.
Mm.
So the work is there, but we have no laborers. And then what you said, what Avery said on the podcast of that no one's going to save you, that's the mindset. So I go every day to try to figure it out. And that's the balance. And again, like you said, we're not perfect and we fail. I fail all the time, but through those failures, I move a step closer to my successes and I figure out the process. As far as my school, we've been in business for 3 years and we mainly had the phlebotomy portion. And through there, we learned a lot. We learned a lot. And then through that knowledge and through the failures and through the cultivating and then the building a team, our Connecticut facility is in good hands and we can build in Georgia. And that's through systems. You can't get systems without going through failure and writing it down and documenting it. And so that's what we've been building and cultivating. And then what works for me is journaling. Write down, and I could let you know, write down. I don't know if you guys do it, but definitely first thing in the morning, write down your thoughts, how you're feeling, plan out your day. That helps a lot. It helps guide me through the day. Definitely start off with prayer is what I do. I start off with prayer and I journal and go for walks. I go for like mile walks, especially when I'm stressed.
I love this self-care.
For sure. Go for walks, exercise, pivotal exercise, release that stress, and just meditate, meditate in the word. And that's how I've overcame a lot of dark times, a lot of stressful times in my life. That's why I just glorify the Father. That's pretty much.
I love that. Yeah. How do you, if you had to give some advice to those individuals who are a part of your tribe and your circle, how do you, what advice would you give them to support you, Jhevaun? Like what does that look like? If you had to give advice to someone to say, hey, this is how you can support me during these times, what advice would that be?
The advice would be really and truly to just be positive. And for me, having a positive mindset is very important. It's uplifting, feels refreshing. Yeah, just being positive. And then on the other hand, just, having people around you that believe in you, just the same way hate kind of weighs you down is the same way love uplifts you. Kind of like Tinkerbell, she loses her powers if people don't believe in her. It's the same thing. It's not as dramatic in real life, but it's real. And it sounds very kind of.
You called and Tinkerbell.
Yeah, but it's very real. It's very real having people around you that believe in you. Our society doesn't really cultivate or togetherness. Just the United States it's an individualistic kind of society. Every man for himself. I had the opportunity to speak to a few exchange students from Zambia, and I just wanted to add, she was saying just the society, the culture over there is they take care of the woman very well. And I said, why is that? And she said, well, the women are the one who take care of the community. So if you take care of the woman well, everybody's well. And here in our country, that's not a thing. It's not a thing. So we lack heavily in that, and all humans, we have a responsibility, to provide emotional safety. And as I was listening to those exchange students, it made me just want to just, I wish that was here. I wish we took
But why
care of
can't it
each
be
other.
here? Why can't it be here? It's a mindset and it's a choice.
It's a
It's a
mindset.
decision.
Absolutely.
It can be here. There's a movement
Absolutely.
that can start, and I don't think that there isn't anyone doing it. And
Yes.
so I think that some of us do it better than others. Some of us don't. We're talking about balance and that and mental health. Some of us don't know how to do it. We were all, for the most part, born into trauma. So our survival skills are just trying to survive half the time. Nobody taught us how to make good decisions. Nobody taught us how to manage and balance and how to have these discussions and in that circle of circumference of safety. I think you bring up a very, very valid point, Jhevaun. And I think there are some Black men out there that treat Black women and their spouses extremely well. And they are great fathers. And they
Absolutely.
are bomb CEOs and they're doing it. So how are we setting the footprint and the roadmap for younger youths, for younger male entrepreneurs, because this generation is a little bit different. Not good or bad,
Definitely,
different, right? They, but
definitely.
they but
Yes,
they got some courage. So how do we set the tone and the stage for them to be successful?
that's an excellent question. And I'm going to use something that you just said that no one showed us. I have conversations with my mother and my father, and I grew up in Miami again, but I watched my mother have multiple businesses, my stepfather, multiple business. They my mother didn't even show me how to get a credit card, the minimum of
Mm,
this is how you establish credit.
mm,
So, to go back to what you said when you said no one showed us, I think that's the difference that we have to make. As you said, a movement can start. There's no secret about the history of Black people in this country. So, a lot of things are kept from us. And through those years of oppression and things being kept from us, I think we kind of have a mentality of when we learn something, we keep it to ourselves and we're kind of selfish with it. And I'm proud of a young man that he's my son. He's my oldest. He's my first.
mm.
He came to me last year and he said, "Dad, I want to start my own business." And I said, "Do you?" And yeah, he said, "Yeah, this is what I want to do." And I said, "All right, well, if you're serious about it, come on. This is how you do it. This is how I did it. No one showed me how to do it. If you want to see more successful entrepreneurs that are Black, if you want to help the Black community get to the next level, you share your information with them. You have Shebas. You have these outreach organizations that are there purposely to help the community. That's why I think what you're doing is so great, Sansare. I'm not giving you no praise or to get off the topic, but really what you're doing is going to be super impactful. I don't even know if you know the magnitude of what it's going to be, but I fully support everything that you're doing because what you're doing is exactly what I'm speaking about. You bring people together, you share thoughts, you share ideals, and this is therapeutic. I never really looked at it that way before, but this truly is therapeutic, and I think that's how we get ahead and how we break the cycle of non-advancement in our community. Each one teach one. You take the time to teach somebody, that's priceless. You catch a fish for somebody in a river, you give it to them, they eat for that day. But if you teach them how to fish and how to go about fishing, they can feed their whole family. So I think that's the mindset that we need to have moving forward
Yeah, and they could feed their whole family for a lifetime, right? Not
for a
just that
lifetime.
day. I absolutely
Yes, ma'am.
love that. And thank you for the compliment. And honestly, Gavin, just to kind of touch on something that you said about us gatekeeping, some of us, and some of us not being willing to share information, all skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Very true.
So we
That's
have
a
to
fact.
keep that in mind that all skin folk ain't kinfolk. And there's some haters out there. I was talking to my mama because I talk to her pretty much every day about just the evilness and the hatred of people who envy and who are jealous. And so that's why we have to be prayerful and stay mindful of our relationship with our higher power, because we need that spirit of discernment to teach us and talk to us about who we need in our space and who we don't. So to talk to three Black, capable, brilliant men about how they navigate this space is absolutely amazing, because 15, 20 years ago, we was having conversations about y'all not talking at all. Like, y'all just not willing to have no conversations, not willing to go to no therapy, not talking to the spouses, committing suicide at an alarming rate. And we just started normalizing managing our mental health and having those conversations around what that looks like, right? In the last 4 or 5 years since COVID forced us to deal with it. But what COVID hasn't done for us is allow us to address the system that has oppressed us and that has continued to throw up walls and barriers. And so I really want to know how you all are navigating the system and how you are staying sane while doing that, right? Because it's easy to talk about, I lean on God, I put my faith in here and my trust in here. But every time you turn around, there's a system. Do we have the same opportunity as everyone else? You talked about we're behind on housing and home ownership. Did we understand redlining? Do we know what geographical location was historically like saturated with it and impoverished? So these are the things that I think we still deal with in 2025. Talk to me about the dismantling of the African American, the Smithsonian.
Mm.
Talk to me about, certain systems wanting to get rid of our history. What, like, how are you dealing with that as you're having conversations with your children and your wives and your families and still trying to push your business in a conservative climate?
That's a tough question there, but for sure, for sure.
Mm.
Listen, all you can do again is trust in the Lord, because the end times is near for sure. But yeah, I mean that's
Time
that's
might
all
be
we
near,
do.
but it ain't yet.
It ain't yet.
I was speaking
Nobody
double
knows.
negatives.
Nobody knows.
It
Yeah, for
ain't yet.
sure. But not, yeah. And what Garvin said about what you're doing is it's phenomenal. And that's why anytime I can, I try to make sure I'm a part of, if I can. And just building that ecosystem, right? Where we all can feed off, whether it's knowledge or if it's maybe it's material, maybe it's whatever it is, we share that together. Because I'm not gonna lie, what Garvin was saying is kind of true, where we are kind of behind. However,
Mm-hmm.
I do see that where I am in Georgia, and that's why I chose to come here, because there is a Black community here that does nourish their people and pour back into, and Black entrepreneurs and doctors. And so that's something that I strive to build. It's important to build, and like what you said, it's important to have people you bring up that's underneath you, and then it's important to have people that's over you to guide you and give you the guidance that you don't have, the provision. So seeking a mentor, it's very important, and it could be a mentor that understand, that's a brother as well. But that's what's important to have, and it's not easy to find, but if you seek it, you will find.
Mm-hmm.
It just just give it to the Father, for
Yeah,
sure.
I agree. Jhevaun.
May I just add that I noticed there is a shift in the ecosystem, in the paradigm altogether. So as as houses become more expensive and they try to force people to go into renting and out of home ownership, it's also forcing us to band together and buy houses together. A new stat came out that says there are more siblings buying homes together than ever before. So
That's good.
I understand that it's a universal equation that there is no negative without a positive. There's always a double side. There's always a white to a black. There's always two sides. So if there's an extreme hardship, there's an extreme positive on the other side. You just have to find it, figure out where that energy is bleeding into. It's not just going to bleed one way. It's like a negative thing and it's all hope is lost. Nah, it's bleeding somewhere else. There's a flow. You know what I mean? Just like when the stock market's going down, the stock market's going down, but then you have persons that are buying put options, puts and sales and futures. It's
I
just the
don't know
laws of
about
physics.
sales and futures though. Everybody don't know about that, and so that's a
Eh,
whole
It's bound to go up. If it's at the
different
bottom, it's
discussion.
bound to go up.
Correct. Correct.
Listen, the tables always turn, and the ladder
Yes.
climbs both ways. That's what I tell you.
Yes.
Yeah.
And may I add also, the quickest speed known to man is all of a sudden.
Yeah.
That's the quickest speed known to man. All of a sudden, things were evened out. All of a sudden, things are normal again. All of a sudden, home ownership is easy. All of a sudden, all the wars stop. That is the quickest speed known to man. It's just a matter of time, and let's just continue having these podcasts and doing what it do, and just bonding together and
Yeah.
just holding a space where we could just unload our minds for a minute.
And
Thank you,
challenge the
Sansa.
norms. You're so welcome. Thank you for the honest feedback and the conversation. We have to continue to push up against the system and the oppression. We are the only culture that has historically been oppressed as long as we have been. And the question
Absolutely.
now is, are we free?
We need those reparations. That's what we need.
Are we free? Man, I just want
Sure.
1 acre and a mule.
That's it.
You give me 1 acre and a mule, let me rock with that. I'll rock with that. all
Yeah, we
day.
can make
Now,
that
I'm
work.
not gonna milk the mule, but I'll find somebody to do it.
Yeah. Say that. Yeah,
Hey,
For
absolutely.
sure.
Are we free? Gavin, are we free?
you know this country, you know our history in this country. Are we free? No. We have to be that change in the ecosystem. We have to spark that change. It starts somewhere. So, well, obviously, knowing our history, it never was always there. So, when they started to teach about our history and all these things work in a cycle. And, we understand what we're up against. So we need to really be that change. And there is a shift in culture paradigm, so to speak. We're starting to wake up and realize that if we're not in this together, then we're just going to keep being in this cycle where all cultures are going to take advantage of us. And we just have to know our past, and we have to teach our past, because that's the only way that we know where we're going to go in the future. So are we free? Physically we are. Mentally we're not. They took the chains off of us physically. Now it's on us mentally. So we have to stay rooted to God. That's the first thing. And we do need to just have a community where we can have conversations like this to allow ourselves to be even further free. By sharing what we know, and those who don't know, they will then learn, and then they'll also pass it on. But that's really what I think. I don't think we're free at all, but I think we're as free as we want it. We allow ourselves to be. That's what I believe.
I love that. I love that as the final contribution to this discussion. I can't wait for you all to be on the next round of Candid Conversations with AXE2Cap podcast and the Sheba Accelerator program, as we continue to walk down this journey of accessing capital resources and having candid conversations about mental health and entrepreneurship. You all are amazing. I appreciate all of your contributions. I am so, so, so proud of each and every one of you and can't wait to have you back.
AXE2Cap, look at all that you could gain. Business moves, loans, and grants, it's all a part of the game. You could learn all of this that the Queen Sheba explained. AXE2Cap, let me put you